My speech today will be responsive to certain areas of Prime Minister Lawrence Wong's budget speech specifically. Although I sincerely register my appreciation for the SG60 budget for all Singaporeans and the additional support schemes that have been announced to support families, taking into consideration what me and many of us had shared in this House last month in the motion which I had moved pertaining to for the continued review and updating of policies to better support families as well as the marriage and parenthood aspirations of Singaporeans, and endorses a whole of society approach to build a Singapore made for families. Firstly, on the topic of childcare and preschool accessibility. Building a Singapore made for families goes hand in hand with nurturing a caring and inclusive society. On this note, I welcome the announcement for further reduction of monthly full-day childcare fees caps in government-supported preschools. This will go a long way to further ease the financial burden on families, many of whom have been concerned with rising cost of living. However, I anticipate a challenge that may persist. That is a long waiting time for enrolment and admission at anchor operator centres and partner operator centres located near homes. In my speech delivered during the motion which I moved last month, I shared with this House that many of my Woodgrove residents in Champions Court and Champions Greens have been facing difficulties in securing a spot in a preschool for their toddlers. This is pressing and distressing for families, especially those moving into new flats, which could be located in an unfamiliar area with no extended family supports. I believe that one of the solutions is increasing the number of partner operators. This would increase the supply of preschool spots and options for parents. I therefore urge the government to consider my earlier suggestion that the Housing and Development Board and the Early Childhood Development Agency collaborate even more closely. They should review and improve the current system to select anchor and partner operators for new estates as early as possible, ensuring these centres are ready to operate by the time residents begin collecting their keys. This will make childcare more accessible from day one. Next, I move on to the other support measures for families. During the fourth session of the focus group discussion organised jointly by the PAP Women's Wing with Friendzone, which I had attended recently, where I joined close to 60 participants aged 25 to 40 years to have a heart-to-heart conversations pertaining to the topic of parenthood. I've gathered that while some participants may find the cost of pregnancy in Singapore, which is estimated to be in the region of $10,000, covering items from prenatal gynae visits, hospital birth and confinement nanny supports and etc., to be a reasonable amount in comparison to the cost of planning for their wedding. However, many of the participants are still of the view that the cost of childbirth and raising a child in Singapore remain high and had deterred them, especially if the couples actually have the desire to have more than one child but worry on their affordability. I therefore welcome the large family schemes which offers additional financial support to married couples who have or aspire to have 3 or more children. Yet, larger financial assistance rendered to just this group is not enough. Based on the other feedback and suggestions which PAP Women's Wing have gathered through our surveys, consultations with partners, as well as focus group discussions, to encourage young couples to start and grow their families, I believe we must address a broader range of needs in which I have summarized into 5 key areas. 1, fertility support to help couples start and pursue their parenthood journey. 2, supporting first parenthood by equipping them with the necessary know-hows. 3, readily available caregiving support networks to ease their load. 4, more understanding workplaces with flexible work arrangements. And 5, support for mothers to stay confident in the workforce with support systems such as enhanced tax incentives for working mothers. Pertaining to the point on fertility support, PAP Women's Wing Policy Group has received valuable insights from Fertility Support SG, a non-profit self-help group started by a group of ladies facing infertility and saw the need to create a community where couples facing infertility could get the right information as well as come together to share experiences and gain support through their difficult, challenging times. One of the founders of FSS, Ms. Lin Shu Min, have shared with me that the key areas where our government can work on with partners to provide more support to are as follows. 1. Upstream fertility education to help people plan their fertility journeys early. FSS can help to contribute by housing relevant resources and information on their website, making it easier for couples to access the knowledge they need. 2. Grants for pre-IVF or general fertility testing to help identify issues early, improving the chances of success. 3. Public sector grants should be expanded to cover more IVF cycles, as families may want more than one child or face complex cases that require additional rounds of treatment. And 4. Private sector grants should also be considered, allowing grants to apply to treatments in private clinics, giving couples more options. I wish to take this opportunity to share a personal appeal which my residents, Tina and Brandon, had confided in me just a few days ago at my MPS. The couple, both 32 years old, has been trying to conceive for the past 4 years. From initially being given a clean bill of health at their fertility checkup to eventually being diagnosed with a blocked fallopian tube that resulted in them undergoing 5 IVF cycles since last year, which have yet to yield any success. Despite the emotional toll and financial strain, they remain hopeful to be under NUH's care, whose advice to them is to not give up and to keep trying as each cycle brings the medical fertility team one step closer to finding the right combination of medication and timing to retrieve the best quality eggs and hope for eventual success. However, the cost of medications, procedures, and consultations are overwhelming and have pushed them to their limits. Having exhausted the subsidized cycles, they are humbly requesting additional government support for one more fresh IVF cycle and 2 frozen cycles. The couple understands the public resources are limited and they do not expect full coverage. However, they believe that with the additional support that the government can provide and consider to expand, it will go a long way towards easing the burdens of couples like them and sustain their dreams of becoming parents one day. On the next point of creating a smooth experience for first-time parents, we should consider to provide a new parenthood e-guide or a Mummy's Milestone booklet. This can be personalized to each family's needs and with relevant information conveyed to parents-to-be by professionals at each milestone's basis. At the risk of belaboring the point, having already asked for this in the Parliament on numerous occasions over the years, most recently actually in my speech for my motion last month, I do hope that this booklet will help to track the expecting mother's physical and emotional development. It contains helpful information regarding necessary preparation for each stage of their pregnancy, what are the parenting best practices, and what are the lists of support systems available to all parents, at least for the first year of their journey into parenthood. What are the overview of vaccinations required for these expecting mothers, and what are the recommended estimated time and dates to sign up for prenatal classes, providing them with a checklist of items to prepare for the arrival of their baby, sharing tips with them on how to spot signs of labor and how to spot signs of postnatal depression. Mr. Speaker, while the increased baby bonus cash gift and higher government contributions to the child development account, along with the various support measures that were introduced in this year's budget, has provided some relief for child-raising costs, many aspiring mothers have nonetheless shared a common concern with me. Many of them, who are PMETs, see the present Working Mother Child Relief WMCR scheme as a reduction of their tax relief entitlement, which used to be 15% of the mother's income for children of Singapore citizenship born or adopted before 1st of January 2024. To address this, I propose a small tweak to the policy. One is to retain the higher of the percentage base or fixed quantum relief. This adjustment would ensure lower-income working mothers to remain motivated to remain in the workforce and receive adequate tax deductions, while encouraging the higher-earning ones to continue to pursue their career aspirations while not forgetting the need to continue to expand and raise their families. This year, it has been announced that the SG Baby Gift will be given to all Singaporean citizens born in 2025. It's a meaningful gesture to celebrate our nation's milestone. I recall my time as a grassroots volunteer 10 years ago, delivering the SG50 Baby Jubilee gift packs. Those packs included a suitcase with items like a special medallion, a multifunctional shawl, a baby sling, a set of baby clothes, a diaper bag, a scrapbook, a family photo frame, and a set of baby books. Thoughtful keepsakes and practical tools for new parents. However, babies grow and develop rapidly in their first year, with their needs shifting every 3 months or so. Since some SG60 babies were born as early as January this year, many will likely be past the 3 to 6 months stage by the time they receive the gift. Moreover, many parents may have already bought the essentials like diaper bags before their baby's arrival. So to make this gift truly useful, I hope the items can vary to better suit the diverse needs of parents and their babies at different stages of that first year. Moving on to the SG Culture Pass, which will provide all Singaporeans aged 18 and above with $100 worth of credits for activities like arts and cultural performances, museum exhibitions, and heritage experiences. I support this initiative as it encourages us to engage with our rich cultural landscape. However, since the goal is to inspire participations in arts and heritage, why not extend this opportunity to younger Singaporeans? I suggest lowering the age eligibility to include children from preschool onwards. This will mirror the approach of Active SG credits, which promote family participations in sports and activities. A similar family-focused design for the SG Culture Pass could help instill a love for culture from an early age while enhancing family bonding. Lastly, I'm grateful for the government's allocation of $800 in Community Development Council's vouchers to every Singaporean household to help manage expenses. On top of that, the SG60 vouchers available to every Singaporean and usable at all businesses accepting CDC vouchers add another layer of support. These initiatives show a commitment to easing the cost of living. However, during my recent house visits and routine walkabouts at our Fuchun Neighbourhood Centre and 888 Plaza in Woodgrove, several residents and merchants have shared their feedback about the current e-voucher format. They suggest switching to an e-wallet format like those used in the Live SG or GrabPay, which are already popular for purchasers and neighbourhood merchants. This change could help make the vouchers more convenient and user-friendly for everyone. Mr. Speaker, in Mandarin, please. 王群才总理在上周发表的2025年财政预算案中，宣布了一系列的援助措施，支持家庭与国人缓解生活费上涨的压力。除了每户公民家庭可获得800元的社区发展理事会邻里购物券之外，所有今年满21岁的国人可在 SG60 配套下获得600元或800元的 SG60 邻里购物券。近日来，有许多的邻景区居民们在我们的邻里中心碰到我时，或是我在做交互访问时，向我表示他们对今年财政预算案的支持，感激政府体恤民生，积极的在帮助国人的生活成本，同时也惠及了许多的邻里小贩和商家。在此同时，有几位邻里商家及居民们向我反映，认为现有的电子邻里购物券格式有待改进的空间。建议更新现有的电子钱包模式，比如以 Live SG 或 GrabPay 这些在许多商店买东西时已很普遍常用的应用程式里的那种存款 和付款方式取代。这样一来，会让商家与客户们在做付款转账时更加的快捷与方便。To conclude, I would like to share a few lines of assurance and encouragements that my husband recently said to me. A working mother who constantly questions if I have done enough for my 6-year-old daughter and 15-month-old son amidst my other commitments. These words, though from an anonymous author, resonated deeply with the challenges and triumph of parenthood. They remind us of the strength and resilience of mothers, who are not only raising their children, but also growing alongside them. To the mom who has been through a lot lately, give yourself more credit. You are raising children at the same time as you are raising yourself. You are breaking cycles and doing it differently, even though you're exhausted. You're trying to figure out who you are while helping little people do the same. You're pouring all your love into your children while learning to love yourself at the same time. You are stronger than you can ever imagine. You are doing your best. Let that be enough. These words capture the heart of what it means to build a Singapore made for families, a place where parents, especially mothers, feel supported, valued, and empowered, and at a greater level, serve the theme of SG60 budget for all Singaporeans. Let us continue to work hard and together to welcome SG60 and even better years to follow after. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding my request for clarifications and suggestions, I stand in support of the budget.